Hi everybody, welcome back to Desktop Mining episode 2 with Minergate. Now if you followed along from the first couple of videos, you know that we're trying to find out a little bit about cryptocurrency mining, see what's profitable, take a look at not only desktop mining, which is where we're at today, but look at cloud mining and also look at other types of mining like using a mining rig. So we're not going to go into too many details. We're not going to go into a lot of information about why one coin's better than the other. And we're not really trying to break Minergate down. We're just showing you one more tool that you can use for desktop mining, see some numbers and get a general idea. But we already did the last time look at the power, look at the different costs associated, and figured out that it wasn't as profitable as we would like it to be. And as a matter of fact, in a lot of cases, you'd probably lose money if you didn't have a decent video card in your computer. So having said that, let's go check out the Minergate website. All right, there we go. All right, so as you can see here, typical website, talks a little bit about their company, shows you the amount of coins, what the minimum withdrawal is, just some general details about the services they offer. They're also a mining pool, so part of that is if you had not used their desktop application, you could use pretty much any Linux-based, command line-based on Windows application and run through their pool and mine that way. And remember that when you're mining through a pool, you do have some pool fees to take into consideration above and beyond any electrical costs that you might have. So I'm just going to close that out. And basically you could just download their application after signing up, put in your email address, and you're ready to mine. So let's take a look at where I've got the program now. I guess we just got to run it. Miner. And it's going somewhere. Well, that's a big pause. There we go. All right, let me slide it in here. For some reason, it took a while to load. So we're basically going to log in using our email address. You don't need your credentials here because you're not doing anything on the web. You're just signing in so they know who you are. All right, so they've got a little bit nicer interface than nicehash does, but the new version of nicehash is also very nice. That sounds kind of funny. And here, one of the cool things they have is when you actually test your hardware, which we'll do for a few seconds here. It goes out and does just like what nicehash did, which is it tries to figure out based on the CPU that you have and the GPU that you have, what it's capable of mining. And in some cases, it might do the benchmark and decide that your video card really has no capabilities. And when we get to the next screen that we'll look at, it won't have anything there for us to select for the GPU to do work on. But it'll be able to mine, with your CPU. And technically, no matter how slow your CPU is, I'm sure it's going to say it can mine, but you're just not going to really make any money from it because today, given the complication of the algorithms, you really need something a little bit stronger than your average CPU. Now, a little history on what I've done with Minergate so far is we've gone about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks, and we ran a couple of desktops here and there, measuring different computers. This particular one has a higher end i7. We did some with some i5s, and we even ran a server, a real HP server, running dual quad-core processors, and ran the test that way, all to Minergate. Now, of course, we didn't use the graphical interface when we used the server. We used a Linux command line application to accomplish the same thing. And what we discovered was the server didn't do so great, even though it's fantastic processors. The desktops didn't do so great either because we didn't have really good GPUs. And so, given that the quality of those isn't that great, it was tough to find a way that we could make money doing desktop mining. Let's take a look at where this is at. This should be pretty close to being done. And so since it's not really that profitable, or in this case, not profitable at all, you know, I wouldn't recommend it except for to do it just for fun and to check it out and to learn a little bit. And if you've got maybe inexpensive electricity where you are, or maybe you live in a place that they charge you a flat fee and there's no electrical cost to you, then I guess you can go ahead and, you know, maybe take advantage and go ahead and mine something, and you could make a few dollars. And maybe the goal would be about saving the coin, hoping that the coin goes up in value, rather than mining because we want to try to get $50 to go and spend it on something. So it looks like it's done. You can see our score is only 3 stars, which probably is a pretty poor score. I don't know why it got as high as 3 stars. But we'll just go over here to they have a smart mining tab where it kind of calculates when you're ready to mine what the most profitable thing is to mine within the past hour or so. And it figures out, like, if, let's say, Ethereum is the profitable coin at the moment, and your computer's capable of doing it based on that capabilities, and it compares it against, let's say, Dash or Litecoin or even Manero, which is the coin we've been mining a lot as far as at the desktop level. And it figures out which one's the most profitable at that time, and it actually runs that coin. Then they've got another option here, which basically shows you the coins. And you can see it liked our graphics card enough to include it here in GPU mining. But just like this not available, we had a couple computers that were all the way down the line not capable of mining anything with the GPU because they were just very basic video cards. Now this is a nice processor, i7. And you know, while we're recording, I probably don't want to go full blown, but we'll put 6 out of the 8 cores to actually work on mining. And then on the video, for the same purposes, we'll put 2 just so we don't kill the recording of the video. And it might actually kill the recording of the video, so we'll find out. So you just basically click start, and it'll go out there. And as you can see right here, your hash rate. So on, you know, a serious rig, your hash rate's going to be significantly higher, and the numbers are going to be pretty outrageous. Whereas on these desktop PCs, you're just not going to hit great numbers with an average video card. This is, you know, 50 hash. So let's take a quick look at cryptocurrency mining. And we're mining right now Manero. So that's because it's pretty CPU. Let me rephrase that. That's because the quality of the CPU is better than the quality of the GPU, and we can at least mine that to a certain extent. So we're going to go back actually and look at, I don't know why it stopped the video, and I think this number's gotten up to about 60 at peak if I put all 7 processors, and then we've gotten a little bit out of the GPU. I think what's happening now is the GPU is probably being utilized with what we're doing, recording. So I'm just going to turn that off for the moment. And let's go back to Coin Wars. And we went to the mining calculators. We picked this. And let's just put, let's say, 60 hash. And we're going to put 0 power cost, or actually let's just put 0 watts. And just take a quick look at the numbers. And what we find is that we can make monthly 322, daily about 11 cents. Now, of course, if we add electricity in, once we do that, we're pretty much done. So let's go ahead and just say that we're running a computer. And you know, normally people have their computer on a couple hours, they turn it off. But let's say you're going to run it for 24 hours a day because you're now mining and you want to make this extra money. And we're using, let's call it 150 watts. We're not getting these big watts that you're hearing for people using mining rigs because we don't have a bunch of GPUs in it. And I think we pay about 14 cents. I got to verify that number. And we do calculate, and as you can see on the right here, nice and ugly. It's all red. And the reason is that while you did make your $3.22, you also paid $15.12 in electricity. And so you've lost $11.90 for the month. Now I'm going to stop the CPU because I think it might be glitching the computer a little bit. I just wanted you to get a view of that. And then we'll minimize this. And so as you can see, we're losing money just recording this video and running the miner. So what I want to do now is actually go to Minergate again, logged in, and take a look at what kind of numbers we got for all the mining that we did over the past 2 to 3 weeks. So we're right there. Okay. So here's the actual Minergate website. I'm logged into it. And they've got a couple of different pieces of information here that we'll review a little bit of. But I'm basically at the dashboard, which is the part that tells you all of the miners that you have online. It lets you know what you're mining. So if you've got 2 or 3 things that you're mining, they'll light up green here. And the other things that are red or pink, depending on perspective, are something that you're not mining at the moment. So you could have mined something and you'll have some coin here for, let's say, this phantom coin, and it's just that right now you're not mining it. Actually, sometimes when I was mining with the GPU, since it's not a real powerful GPU, it was mining phantom coin. Now, if you go and you look up what phantom coin earns for mining, it's, you know, like not even 1/100th of a penny after a month of mining. So it's really, you know, foolish to even think of mining it. Now, unless you were going to get, you know, hundreds and hundreds of these coins in a month because the value's so low and they're going to give you, you know, a great number, which isn't going to happen, and you could stockpile them and hope that they go up in value, then again, you're really just going to lose. So as you can see here with Manero, which is pretty much what we mine the most, let's look right here at this USD number. So we've made $5.80. Now, at first you kind of think, hey, $5.80, that's pretty good. But in reality, we've probably lost about $25 in electricity. You know, one of the more powerful units that's running is a server, and you can see here 528 hash. One of the servers gets about 300 hash, so much stronger than the computer. But unfortunately, that 300 hash comes at a price, and that price is you're not going to profit, because the as we'll show in the server benchmarks on the next episode, we'll show how much power consumption there is, and it's actually pretty crazy. I think it's probably I don't want to say 5 times worse, but I think it's probably about 4 times worse cost-wise to run the server than it is to run the desktop. And of course, the desktop didn't have the power, so the whole thing is kind of weird. For reference, we also have some cloud servers that we threw it on. And on those servers, we really weren't getting the hash power that was that great. We were probably getting about 40 hash because that's not what they're meant for. And because they're slices of servers or virtual servers running under VMware or running on somebody else's platform as well, you're just not going to get really big CPU. And I'm sure it's against their terms of service agreement to run a miner on their equipment because they're just going to cut you off. All you're going to do is use a lot of CPU and kind of mess up their systems. So as you can see, we really haven't made a lot of money. And then one of the things that's kind of a catch with all of these services is there's certain minimums that you need to be able to take out the money. So let's say in this case, you wanted to get this $5 and you go, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. Let me just get my $5 and I'll go buy a soda. Well, the problem is if I click withdraw right here, you can see that it says 0.06, and a little bit slowly there figured out, hey, wait a minute, you've only got 0.06 and you need 0.1. So if we've been mining literally for 3 weeks, I would say the server running at 300 hash 24/7 has probably run for a solid 10 days, maybe more. And again, we're losing money on that box. You know, to get this other half of a Monero that we need would probably take another 2 weeks of mining, and it doesn't make sense. Maybe when we get one of the desktops with a couple of good graphics cards, we'll mine that on purpose just to try to get some Monero into the wallet. But that's the deal with Minergate. Now, they're also a mining pool, so they've got some information here showing the blocks that they've worked on. They talk about the hash rate that they have. You've got the different coins that they support, and so they're playing a role of a pool, and then they're giving you this desktop application that allows you to mine without having the fancier equipment. So having said that, and seeing the numbers, I think we can safely say that desktop mining is just not worth it. If if you're getting electricity for free and making $3 a month is something of value to you, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Now, if you just want to play around and experiment with mining, and you don't want to go out and buy what's probably a $300 video card today because of the shortage of the video cards, then this is a great way to do it. Grab a desktop app from either Minergate or from nicehash, install it, play with it, learn a little bit about it, and have fun with it. But if you want to get a little bit more serious, then I think you got to go to cloud mining, or you've got to go to building a rig to try to get that to work. So with that, be looking for episode 3, which will bring that server out. Look for our other videos which talk about cloud mining, and we actually got a hash flare video up the other day, and it looks pretty good so far with a couple days under its belt. And we've got a Genesis mining video out, and we'll keep working on looking at the rig. We actually ordered some video cards, I would say about 4 weeks ago, from one of the distributors, and they were supposed to be in on the 5th. We're on the 20th today, and now they're telling us it's going to be October 20th. So we'll see how we can get a card. Maybe we'll have to just go to eBay and buy a couple, just because we want to play with it, see it, and figure out for ourselves how it works and if there's money to be made. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, that's all right, put a thumbs down. If you want to keep watching and you could subscribe to our channel, that would be great. We look forward to coming back with more videos and learning more about the coin and seeing where we can profit just like you can profit. So if you're a miner, drop us some notes down below, anything that you've seen that we maybe said wrong or that you want to share about your experiences. If you're not a miner and you got a question, put one there. We're not necessarily experts, but we have a pretty good handle on it, and we'll be glad to answer them. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.